Hello and welcome to Bold Englishman's playthrough of Doom, the original, for the time being. A quick note on why I'm deciding to start playing through some of these old games is that I've noticed that there's quite a few videos on YouTube that people have uploaded of themselves playing older games such as Doom, but in my opinion a lot of them basically don't have like any idea what they're doing. I'm not exactly the greatest first-person shooter player or video game player in general, but I just feel as if that if you're going to be showing off an older game such as this, that you should at least have a bit more of an idea of what you're doing and play the game with some sort of competence. I've decided to start with the original Doom because while I'm a big fan of older games, I do have a line to draw. I think Doom is pretty much the oldest game that I can play comfortably. I mean, if you look at games like Wolfenstein 3D and Ultima Underworld, while they are great games, I don't so much have the patience to sit through them and play them. In my opinion, it just gets a bit too repetitive. So anyway, I will start by playing the first episode, and I'm going to be playing on Ultraviolence. So, Hangar is the first level. I haven't got any music because well, if you want to listen to the music, you can always find other videos of that. Personally, I think the MIDI music is very quaint and nostalgic, but might get in the way of this Let's Play. I originally began playing Doom 2 when I was very young, mainly because Doom 1 wasn't actually sold in commercial stores. Doom 2 was the first id Software game that actually came in boxes in retail stores. But I do believe my family had a copy of Doom 1, but I just didn't see it because I was very young at the time. So I've been playing for quite a long time. My playing style used to be very messy and generally all over the place. So I'm a bit more conservative now than just running into rooms like I used to. I do try and save ammo, even though in this episode of the game ammo is just ubiquitous, so there's not really much point. I'm going to try and demonstrate how to get all of the secrets in my Let's Play. Maybe not in the best, most timely fashion, but anyway. I'm not playing the game with the original engine that it came with. This is a custom source port called GZ Doom, or however you choose to pronounce it. GZ Doom. So that's what's enabling the game to play at such a high resolution and have little messages like "the secret is revealed" pop up. Not to mention much smoother mouse look. I could play through with the original engine, but I just feel that this is a lot more comfortable to play through. Yes, so first level out of the way. Straight into nuclear plant. I'm just going to play through the entire episode in one sitting because the levels individually aren't too long. Zombies everywhere in this level. I much prefer using the regular single-barreled shotgun compared to the double-barreled from Doom 2. Maybe it's just the increased rate of fire that I prefer. It's pretty much the only gun you're ever going to need for this episode, at least. There's quite a lot of sniping, actually, in this episode. You can pick plenty of enemies off at a distance, or just leave them and deal with them later on. But I prefer to pick them off. This is a good example of it right here. Chain gun. That was atrocious, I'm sorry about that. This episode really doesn't pose much of a challenge. I mean, the chain gun is another weapon that you can pretty much use the entire time throughout the entire episode. Jumping, that's another thing that you can't do in the original game, but allows you to... Well, many source ports allow you to jump and crouch as well. This area has plenty of zombies, former humans, as the manual refers to them as. You can wait for them to all come out, but they're so slow. Into the strobe light maze. I never really, like, a lot of people say that when they played this game that they used to get scared and the atmosphere would get to them and the darkness and everything. I attribute it mainly to the fact that I was so young at the time, but Doom games have never really scared me. Maybe because the graphics at the time were so almost borderline cartoonish to me that it didn't almost register what I was doing, you know, what the graphics were supposed to be depicting. So, I don't know, it just was always much more like an action shooter rather than a, you know, never really kind of got too scared about the surroundings or the monsters or anything. They're all dead. I'm not really talking too much about the secrets here just because I've played the original game so many times that it almost is just like second nature doing all of this. So if you want to find out how to get to a secret, just re-watch the segment. I apologise for not explicitly stating where they are. Just kind of going about on autopilot at the moment. Like right here, there is one, which allows you to approach this room a bit more tactically. Again, picking the enemies off individually. Even though if you went in there just going down the elevator, the standard route, I guess, you could still just mow them all down pretty quickly. It doesn't go anywhere there. And then this door, this texture, pretty much always symbolises the exit. Not to mention the big red exit sign as well. And that is nuclear plant done. This next level that we're going into is Toxin Refinery, which has the entrance to the secret level of this episode. The introduction of the Pinky Demon and the Spectre, I believe it's somewhere around here. There it is. If you're used to playing the original engine that the game came with, the Spectres in this game look a bit different because the software, like, I don't know, trail effect, it's a bit hard to describe, it's a bit hard to replicate using a software engine, whereas this is OpenGL. So in this game, A bit like the later, like Doom 64 that came a few years later. The spectres in this game are just transparent. Kill 'em all! Chain gun massacre. I see you over there. One of the interesting things to note about the chain gun in this game is that one of the features, I would call it, is that if you just tap the mouse button when you attack, the first 2 shots, because it always fires 2 shots, are always on the mark. So you can snipe. This is the best weapon to snipe with in this game. Whereas if you hold it down, that's where the shots start to disperse. Same is for the pistol as well. If you every first shot is pretty much always on target. So more demons. And the yellow key. Got everything around the side. Right, then there is this area. I'm starting to feel a bit more conscious about the secrets now. This area will drop down once you go past a certain point. You should hear it. There you go. And then it goes back up again. This is how you get to the Soul Sphere, which is not actually needed, but right here. And then there's another secret if you go up and then run across. Just up here, where you get the rocket launcher. Not a weapon that I really use any time in this episode, apart from the last level, but good to have nonetheless. Plenty of goodies in here, leading us back to the area we just came from. If you open this kind of shows a room which leads towards the secret exit, but it's a bit difficult to shoot at all the enemies from there, so I'm just going to leave it for now. I prefer to deal with them later on, head on. Full frontal assault. So this episode is supposed to take place on Phobos, one of the moons of Mars. One of the things I never quite understood about Doom 3 was how it was supposed to be a reimagining of Doom 1, but Doom 3 takes place on Mars itself rather than Phobos. That was another particular glitch / feature of the game, where the switch was down in the pit, but it doesn't actually matter what height the player is at compared to the switch. As long as you're just basically facing towards it, you can press it. But yeah, this is Phobos, complete with cloudy sky overlooking jungle mountains. Because of course everyone knows that that's what's on Phobos. Starting to run low on bullets now, I see. Still should be much of a problem. So with the blue key and the yellow key, this is the area that takes you towards the secret level, but I'll come back to that at the end. We'll go into the blue area now. Plenty of enemies coming up here. I'm reminded of the quote in Aliens, small controlled bursts of fire is the way to get the enemies here when they're at any sort of like distance. This is what the yellow key is used for, only a secret area. Typically, in this episode, where the majority of enemies are either former humans sergeants, or imps, I would typically tend to go for the sergeants first. They're probably the deadliest of the ranged enemies that you'll face in this episode. I mean, the fireballs you could avoid pretty easily, and then the former humans don't really pose any sort of challenge anyway, so it's just the sergeants they have to watch out for. Might be a couple of bullets up here, and some health in here. That's the regular ending there, and now we'll go back and get to the secret level. So the room that is just about to open up is where the window kind of shows. It's just a series of chambers that open up as you move forward. Right. And that is the last secret there, which has some rockets up here. So, secret level, which is military base. And somehow go all the way up the map, only to then come back down again afterwards. Shoot first, let the zombies come to you. I find it's the easiest way to tackle this opening room. Plenty of imps in this cage. You don't really need to kill them all, but you know, I'm trying to demonstrate 100% everything. And then this level branches out in the 4 different directions away from this central room. Being very cautious here because there's always stuff around corners. I mean, this level is kind of like the first level where you start to get more in the way of like ambushes. Yellow key. And the first teleporter that you see in game. So I tend to run from this angle to avoid the slime, because as soon as you step in, enemies come out. So just let them come, gun them down. Die! Bit of infighting. I'm not really like I don't use infighting that much in this game. Namely because, well, especially in this original game, there's just so much ammo that you never really need to worry about ammo conservation. That's everything. So yeah, even if I do see enemies infighting each other, I'd just rather kill them myself. I'm just that much of a bloodthirsty fiend. Some around the corner here. And then there is... yeah, that's it. Kill these guys, sometimes fall off. Get back up at that thing. And then yellow door. 2 sections of this level are just absolutely crammed with enemies, the yellow area being the first, and the other being the red, which we will get to in a bit. Shotgun ammo plenty. Open that. Yeah, those doors don't ever close, so you can just keep them open in case you want to backtrack at all for such a situation like this, where they pour out of the wall. And there is a secret here. If you step here, it takes you down into an area full of bullets. Speaking of which, I might switch back to the chain gun. Okay. Starting to get more of like the occult theme coming into it with these torches. Red area. Again, full of enemies. But once more, not a problem. Open that up. Just like the last room, those doors don't ever close. Okay, and then that area up there is about to open. Full of... might actually use the rocket launcher here. The pinkies here will never come beyond a certain step, so you're safe. They're absolutely no threat. The only way they can get into this room is if you blow up these barrels and they come down here and then through these barrels. But otherwise you're perfectly safe against those. So not really a challenge there either. Right, final area of this level. I definitely recommend, well, all throughout this game really, as soon as you open a door, kind of take a step back and kind of see what's in there rather than just run in there, because otherwise you would have been ambushed by these things in this particular scenario. Another secret here. This room is a bit awkward to get around in the using the original engine, but a lot easier with a modern source port. The only thing you actually need is the backpack, really. And into the slime. Wait for the imps to come round. Another tech switch up there. Get out. So you can see, like, just as I came up there, that these, if you're wondering where these demons came from, they came from this, like, monster cupboard here, but, you know. So that's everything with that level. On to the fourth.